Hey guys, Pastor P here. Hope you're doing well this evening as we continue our, just being stirred by the boldness of prayer and praying boldly in the month of August. We spent the first part of August focused on our mind, getting our mind in the right place. Okay, and then this portion that we're covering here this next week or this week is the matters of the heart. Now, what does the heart have to do with prayer? What does the heart have to do with praying boldly? Our heart is the core of our being, spiritually, physically, and otherwise. The core, the seat of our, not just emotions, but our motivations. Those things that get us jazzed, those things that bring us down, those things that excite us, those things that challenge us, those things that bring us joy, those things that bring us strength. It's important to be in touch with your heart. It's important to be in touch with your core and those things that the goals that you do have ahead of you, the motivations that you have ahead of you, knowing why you have them there, okay? And so if we're moving toward possessing, what is it we're trying to possess, okay? Our heart gives us some direction as to what that is. I want to share a passage, actually a story from the Old Testament with you. And it was about how David was selected to be king and to be king over Israel. And it says that in 1 Samuel 16, it said, God addressed Samuel, the prophet, "So how long are you going to mope over Saul? You know I've rejected him as king over Israel. Fill your flask with anointing oil and get going." I love the Message version. "I'm sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem. I've spotted the very king I want among his sons." God has already made his decision. God has already made the choice. And Samuel says, "I can't do that. Saul will hear about it and kill me. The current king is going to kill me if I come over here talking about another king." And God said, "Take a heifer, take a cow with you and announce, I've come to lead you in worship of God with this heifer as a sacrifice. Make sure Jesse gets invited, and I'll let you know what to do next. I'll point out the one you are to anoint." And Samuel did what God told him. And when he arrived at Bethlehem, the town fathers greeted him, but apprehensively. Okay, right? Somebody shows up ready to do something or speak something over them. Is there something wrong? And Samuel says, "Nothing's wrong. I've come to sacrifice this heifer and lead you in the worship of God. Prepare yourselves, be consecrated, and join me in worship." And he made sure Jesse and his sons were also consecrated and called to worship. And when they arrived, Samuel took one look at Eliab and thought, "Here he is. Here is God's anointed." Eliab, Jesse's son, Eliab. "Here is God's anointed." But God told Samuel, "Looks aren't everything. Don't be impressed with his looks and stature. I've already eliminated him." Get this. God judges persons differently than humans do. Imagine that. Men and women look at the face, and God looks into the heart. So why is the heart so important? Because God thinks it's important. And Jesse then began to call up his other sons, Abinadab, and presented him to Samuel. And Samuel said, "This man isn't God's choice either." And Jesse presented Shammah. And Samuel said, "No, this man isn't either." And Jesse presented his 7 sons to Samuel. And Samuel was blunt with Jesse and says, "God hasn't chosen any of these." And he asked Jesse, "Is this it? Are there no more sons?" And Jesse replied, "Well, yes, there's the runt, but he's out tending the sheep." And Samuel ordered Jesse, "Go get him. We're not moving from this spot until he's here." And Jesse sent for him. He was brought in, and he was the very picture of health. He was bright-eyed and good-looking. And God said, "Up on your feet," talking to Samuel, "up on your feet, anoint him. This is the one." And Samuel took his flask of oil and anointed him, and with his brothers standing around watching, the Spirit of God entered David like a rush of wind, God vitally empowering him for the rest of his life. Whew! That's an awesome story. But I want to point out a couple of things here, that the oil didn't flow based on looks. The oil didn't flow based on stature. The oil didn't flow based on education, experience. The oil didn't flow. The oil didn't flow depending upon where he was in the sun line, his birthplace. The oil did not flow. The oil began to flow when he got to the right heart. Okay? Got to the heart of the matter. Got to the one who was after God's heart. Because God saw the heart. Just like he said, men and women, it says, God judges persons differently than humans do. Men and women look at the face, but God looks into the heart. And so he looked into the heart of David. And when the anointing flowed, what happened? The Spirit of God entered David like a rush of wind, vitally empowering him for the rest of his life. You got a heart that you're presenting before God in prayer for yourself, for others. Oh my goodness. That's a power team within inside of you. So these few days that we're spending looking at the heart, I encourage you to examine your own heart. What are the motives there? What are the motivations there? What's going on there? Would God be able to say, you're the one? Going through a whole line of folks, you're the one? Would God be able to say that? Know today that our hearts are ever before us. Our hearts are ever speaking. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What is your heart speaking about you? What's going on inside of your heart? What needs to be placed in there in which to draw from that well? Okay? If you get a chance, read that story one more time and pay attention. The oil didn't flow based on any external appearances or stuff. It was all about what was going on the inside, and the oil began to flow. Know tonight that I love you. I'm excited for the things that you're praying about, praying for yourself and others. And as always, I encourage you to hit us up and put in the comments or message us if you got specific prayers or things that are going on in your heart. I love you. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.